It's that time again, time for the start of the high school football season, and with us is head coach Justin Townsend of the Fairfield Mules. Coach, you're entering your 25th year coaching Mules football, and I'm sure you're just excited this year as you are every year, right?
Yeah, I mean, this time of the school year, this time of the season's exciting. You know, you put in all that work in the off season, all that work in the summer, and now you're getting ready to hopefully see it pay off. So yeah, it doesn't change regardless whether it's, you know, first year or 25th year, it's still the same.
And your Mules football team's made the playoffs, I think, 11 straight years in a row. Would have been 12 had it not been for the COVID year. But that year you were 6-0, so you clearly would have made it that year too. But, you know, winning's kind of a tradition here in football. You've had it going in the right direction for a long time. How's it been going so far this year with practice? How's the team looking?
Yeah. Just to hit on that a little bit, I've been blessed with a lot of great players over the years. I've had a lot of great assistant coaches and people that have helped contribute to this program and to keep it going, keep it strong, all the way down in the JFL program. So it's been a collective effort, I will say that. But, yes, we've had a lot of success. We've been blessed. So, you know, that said, this year, I mean, it's been a great group to work with. Attendance-wise in the summer, you know, it all starts there. I mean, we were pushing 90-95% of our roster. We're at workouts all summer, which, you know, consists of lifting, and then we have some open fields in June, which is something that we've started doing that's been really beneficial to us. And then we finish off the summer with, you know, a couple of weeks of camp, kind of like everybody else does, and, you know, try to hit the ground running that first day of practice, you know, with the contact days and things like that. You know, it's a little bit different than when I first started coaching. You know, a lot of times a lot of your offense is already in place. You know, a lot of your defense is in place, and then it's just kind of fine-tuning once practice starts again. That said, we've had to battle the heat a little bit, like everybody in, you know, I would say Southern Illinois, but I think it's been everywhere. I mean, it's just been brutal, and but our kids have been resilient. You know, there's been days where literally all we can get out and do is a 1 hour practice. You know, and we talk about just being the best 60 minutes we can be. You know, and be a little bit better each day, and our kids have really taken on to that. You know, we had to go indoors the other day, full pads in a gym for an hour and a half because
like
it was
unheard of.
Yeah, it's. I mean, but it's all in kids' safety, and I'm fine with that. And it's been okay. Our kids have responded, and maybe finally getting a little bit of cool temperature. It sounds like for game week, and that's exciting.
Yeah. You mentioned work in the summertime. You also do something kind of neat in the summertime too. You have kind of a junior camp for youngsters, and that's a free camp, if I'm not mistaken. And that's just a way to introduce football to a lot of the really younger kids, and really it starts at the young age, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We coordinate it with our junior league football program, who they have 3 levels of football: 3rd and 4th grade tackle, 5th and 6th grade tackle, 7th and 8th grade tackle, and actually 4 because we do flag football. Kindergarten through 2nd grade. And we coordinate that with sign-ups. We do it every year, and just have the kids come in for, you know, 90 minutes and do a camp, very, you know, introduction to basic football 101. You know, we start with stance and start. We teach them how to take a handoff, throw the football. I think our kids, you know, my team has more fun doing it than the kids. And then I kind of hit on it a little bit. You know, we actually run the flag program in September. Our high school kids and high school staff, every Saturday in September, we do flag on the game field. And, you know, that's been a successful program for us too. And it's helped us, I think, maintain numbers, develop those relationships, not only with the kids, with the parents. And, you know, I think it's been a positive thing for our community.
Yeah. Last year, you finished 6-4 on the season, and from that team last year, how many starters would you say are returning on both sides of the football?
You know, it's a little skewed because we had some injuries and we had some other things happen, so maybe guys didn't start full time, or maybe they started here and there. But I would say, you know, easily guys with a lot of game experience and some starts under their belt. We have 7 on defense and 6 on offense. So. We have some key pieces in the backfield coming back, and, you know, Jude Carter is back quarterback for us. Logan Tullis is back for us after a knee injury early in the year. And we've got some good pieces up front. You know, I like the mix we have. You know, we're not just dominant or heavy at one spot. I feel like we're really balanced across the board, up front, in the secondary. You know, linebackers. I just feel like it's a good mix all the way around.
Yeah, you've been doing this a really long time. So at this stage of the game, before you start the start of the season here, and before you have your scrimmage, would you say you're farther ahead on your offense or defense at this point?
Defense is always ahead this time of year, just because we're trying to work out timing and things like that. And then, I mentioned the heat a little bit. We've been limited a little bit on the, going full pads and things like that. We're having meet the mules. We're going to scrimmage a little bit there. We scrimmage only week 0. I'm really probably putting more of an emphasis on those scrimmages than I would have in the past, just because of some of the missed opportunities of practice because of the heat. But not that we're going to go out and I've already talking with Olney. We're not going to go out there and scrimmage probably even the full amount. Because I think both of us feel like we have an opportunity to be pretty successful this year. And number one thing is you want to come out of those things healthy,
right?
And that is our goal. But definitely, defense is flying around pretty good right now, and we have enough guys that we can pretty much go one-on-one, your ones against ones. There's a few guys that are backups in there, but they're guys that are going to play. So it's, it's not like it's not, we aren't getting a good look. And that's both ways, offense or defense. So we've had some pretty competitive, hey, we're going to go 10 to 12 plays here. Let's move it up and down the field. Let's first down, second down. Let's treat it like a game situation. And, we feel pretty fortunate we're able to do that. A lot of teams can't do that.
Yeah.
And so that's helped us out a bunch. But I would say right now, defense is a little bit ahead, but our offense is looking better each day.
All right, let's talk about the Black Diamond Conference. How do you see the conference this year? Got a couple new coaches in the league this year, a few other tweaks and things. So how do you see it this year?
As far as the coaching changes, I really don't see that affecting any of those teams we're talking about. Other than Christopher, I think is going to be much improved with Coach Rude. Sesser, that coach has been there a long time prior. Coach Mummert down at JC, he is been there working with their O-line, D-line. I think he calls their offense. I really don't think you're going to see much of a change there. Coach Wolf at Clinton, Clinton's been there forever too, So I don't think the coaching changes is going to be much of a deal other than, like I said, Christopher. But Johnston City returns a lot. They've got it rolling. They kind of got it rolling like we did there for that 4 or 5 year stretch that we were doing really well. And they have been knocked off here and there, but I think until you can consistently beat them, they're probably going to be the team to beat. I think Flora is going to be much improved. They're probably as talented as anybody in the conference. I mean, I think they have size, speed, athletic. They can do some things. If they do really well this year in the conference, I'm not going to be surprised. I think they're going to be tough to beat. Sesser, just they got a good roll coming right now, and they return a lot of guys too. So I think it's going to be a super competitive conference. I think Red Hill coming in, who I believe only played 3 seniors last year off a 5-4 playoff team. And that was, I think they won 5 games maybe without their running back most of the year, and he's back this year. He was injured. So I think they're a welcome addition to our conference. It gives maybe our conference a little bit more credibility because they're a playoff team. So I think they're going to be very good. I think they're excited to show what they can do. Because those kids have been playing independent for several years. They haven't had a conference championship to play for, and I think anytime you have that and you're pretty good, I think it gives you that little bit of extra. So. And then, we hadn't even talked about Carmi and El Dorado and, those teams that traditionally are pretty solid. So I think top to bottom, I think our conference is going to be much improved this year. I think it's going to be a fun year.
You open the season at home here at the Train Yard against Edwards County. What's your mix this year of home games and away games?
So our schedule is front-heavy home games. 4 of our first 5 are home, and then we finish on the road 3 of our last 4. So it's going to be important for us to get off to a good start. We open up with Edwards County, who year in and year out they're going to play us tough. We're whatever it is, 12, 15 miles apart. A lot of these kids know each other. They see each other. I think there was, I don't know how it works, but I think some of them even have college classes together somehow. That happened a few years ago. So I mean, I'm not going to say it's a rivalry game, but it's always a competitive game. And then week 2 we got Red Hill coming here, and then a Saturday night game. So. Right off the bat, those first 2 home games for us are going to really go a long way with maybe dictating the way our season goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, one other thing before we let you go. I understand that you are about to be inducted into the Hall of Fame at McKendree University. I want to congratulate you on that and have you reflect a little bit about your playing days back at McKendree.
Thank you, first of all. To start off, I'm also going in with my 1999 football team,
right.
so that's really special to me.
I'm sure
it was my time at McKendree is awesome. We went there. We were the first class to bring football back to McKendree in 1996.
Wow.
So when we went there for a recruiting visit, they did not have a field. They did not have a weight room.
Oh, man.
They had a picture on a wall.
Wow.
And so they were starting football back up. And so, that group's pretty special.
They had to do a sales job to get guys to buy in, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I mean, I had some other opportunities, other schools, but I took a chance there. It didn't come easy to me. I mean, I did play all 4 years. I lettered all 4 years. Worked my way into a starting job my sophomore year, and then got a high ankle sprain against the University of Evansville. My junior year, I worked my way into a starting spot, and from that point on, I never gave it up. It was one of those things that I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm proud of because I earned it. I worked my butt off for it. I played offensive line in a wing tee offense, double tight. We ran the ball. I was 260 pounds, and I know that's bigger than the average person, but I was one of the smallest guys in our offensive line, so just a lot of grit, a lot of determination. But my time at McKendree was awesome. A lot of lifelong friends, teammates, the kind of people that maybe you don't see for 5 years, but you pick up right where you left off. So great experience.
That 99 team set a lot of records too, didn't they?
Yeah, I think we may still hold maybe the all-time rushing record, and several great players on that team. We had a lot of guys. I kind of hit on it a little bit that maybe they were playing JUCO baseball or something, and then they started football back up and they came to McKendree. Or we had some transfers. I know one of our defensive ends was a transfer from U of I. I mean, we had some dudes on that team, and offensively we could run the football, and defensively we could hit. So, it was just a really, really fun time.
Well, and you look at the program now and you see the facilities that they have and things like that. I mean, to know that you were a piece of that cornerstone that kind of helped build that, it's got to be special to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I say they didn't have a field and things like that, I mean, when we got there, they had that. They didn't have the weight room, but I kid you not, the first 2 weeks we had to stay in hotels and to talk about, and then we would keep our football equipment in the back of our vehicle. So you can imagine how that went. And then even when we got there and they finally got us housing, it was the mod squad is what we were called, as modular housing. It wasn't supposed to be there, but when I graduated, it was still there. It wasn't supposed to stay there. So, I mean, there's a lot of good stories, but now to go back, and of course my son Landon played basketball there, and just to see what it is now, and they're Division II now. At the time, they were NAIA Division I. But at the time, we played the University of Evansville, who was a Division I football team. My senior year, we beat Division I Dayton at Dayton. Probably one of my top memories.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just a special time.
That's great.
Like I said, product of a lot of great players on that team, but it is a great honor.
Well, congratulations. We couldn't let this interview go without talking about that. We're happy for you, and I'm sure you're looking forward to that induction ceremony February 7th.
February 7th,
All right. Appreciate it, Coach. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
All right.